Hey everyone, let me start with a number that sounds totally crazy. To use GPT-5.5 Pro from OpenAI, you pay about $180 for 1 million output tokens. To use Claude Opus 4.7 from Anthropic, you pay $25 for 1 million output tokens. To use DeepSeek V4 Pro, you only pay about $3.50 for the same amount. Same work, same output, 50 times cheaper than GPT-5.5 Pro, 7 times cheaper than Claude. You can run DeepSeek 50 times for the price of running GPT-5.5 Pro once. Or you can use their light version, DeepSeek V4 Flash. That costs only 28 cents per million tokens. That is hundreds of times cheaper. So now you ask, is it any good? That's what we are going to talk about today. First, how does DeepSeek make AI so cheap? Second, how good is it really compared to GPT 5.5 and Claude? Third, why does this matter for the future of AI? Let's begin. Here is the secret. DeepSeek uses something called mixture of experts. Let me explain it with a simple story. Imagine you go to a hospital for headache. In a normal hospital, there is one doctor who knows everything. Heart, brain, bones, everything. That doctor is very smart, but training that doctor takes many years. And every time you see him, you pay for all that knowledge. Even for a simple headache. That is like a normal AI model, like GPT 5.5 or Claude. It uses its whole brain to answer every question. That works, but it costs a lot. Now, imagine a different hospital. This hospital has a reception and many specialist doctors. One doctor only knows the head. One only knows the heart. You come in with a headache. The receptionist sends you only to the head doctor. Only that doctor works on you. The others rest. That is how DeepSeek works. DeepSeek V4 has 1.6 trillion pieces of knowledge in total. But when you ask a question, it only uses about 49 billion pieces. Only about 3% of its brain. Just 3%. That is why it is so cheap. It does not waste energy on things you don't need. The light version, DeepSeek V4 Flash, is even smaller. It uses only 13 billion pieces at a time. So that is the first big idea. Only use what you need. Now let's put 3 models next to each other and see the real numbers. Look. So here is the bottom line. DeepSeek V4 Pro is 7 times cheaper than Claude Opus 4.7. DeepSeek V4 Pro is 50 times cheaper than GPT 5.5 Pro. DeepSeek V4 Flash is hundreds of times cheaper than OpenAI's top model. But here is something DeepSeek said in their own announcement that makes this even more interesting. They said, right now, our Pro service is a bit slow because we don't have enough chips. Later this year, after Huawei ships more chips, our prices will go even lower. Yes, Huawei chips. This is not a political story. It is an engineering story. Let me explain why. Here is a problem many people don't know about. When you connect hundreds of AI chips together, they need to talk to each other very, very fast. NVIDIA uses Cooper wires to connect their chips in their biggest machine. 72 chips are connected with hundreds of Cooper wires. But Cooper has a limit. The signal gets weak after about 1 meter. So you cannot add more chips. But what if you need more than 72 chips? You need something else. You need fiber optics. Glass wires that use light, not electricity. Fiber can send signals much farther without getting weak. Huawei has been working on this for years. They built a machine that connects 384 chips with fiber optics. All 384 chips work together like one big chip. Later this year, they want to connect 8,192 chips. DeepSeek V4 already works well on those Huawei chips. That is a big engineering success. No matter what you think about the companies. Okay, it is cheap. It works on different chips. But is it actually good? Let me be honest. Here are the latest independent test scores from Artificial Analysis. GPT-5.5, 16 points. Claude Opus 4.7, 57 points. DeepSeek V4 Pro, 52 points. So yes, GPT 5.5 is number 1, Claude is number 2 or 3, DeepSeek is number 10 overall. The gap between DeepSeek and the top model is about 2 to 3 months of progress. Just like DeepSeek themselves said in their own report. Here is the important part though. For almost everything you do every day, writing emails, summarizing articles, coding simple things, answering customer questions, that small gap does not matter for most people. DeepSeek V4 Pro is already very good at coding and problem solving, including tests on a platform called Wells AI. DeepSeek V4 is ranked number 1 among all open source models, scoring 49.93%, while the second place only got 37.89%. That is a huge lead in open source coding, and there is one thing DeepSeek does that is amazing. Both DeepSeek models can remember 1 million tokens at once. What does that mean? It means you can give the AI an entire book series, like all 3 Lord of the Rings books, and ask it questions about any small detail. It remembers everything. Claude Opus 4.7 can also do this. It has a 1 million token context window in beta. GPT 5.5 can also do this. But here is the difference. The price. GPT 5.5 Pro charges $180 for this. Claude Opus 5.7 charges $25 for this. DeepSeek V4 Pro charges $3.48. DeepSeek V4 Flash charges only 28 cents. If you are a developer building smart programs that need to remember a lot of information, that is a huge deal. Here is my final thought. For the last 3 years, the AI race was about one thing: who can build the smartest model, who has the best score. That was phase 1. Now we are entering phase 2. Phase 2 is about something just as important: cost. Because here is the truth. Most businesses and developers cannot pay $25 or $30 or $180 every time they want to use a powerful AI. The prices are still too high for many people. If we want AI in every app, every website, every device, then the cost needs to come down a lot. DeepSeek V4 proves that you can get very good performance for a tiny fraction of the price. And because DeepSeek is completely open, you can download it, change it, run it on your own computer. You are never locked into one company. That freedom is very valuable right now. Claude and GPT 5.5 are amazing models. Nobody is saying they are bad. But for most people doing everyday tasks, DeepSeek gives you 90% of what you need for just 1% or 2% of the price. That is powerful. So if you are a developer, a business owner, a student, or just someone who likes trying new things, go try DeepSeek V4. You can find it on Hugging Face or use other website. And here is my question for the comments. What would you build if AI cost 15 times less than it does today? I really want to know. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. I make videos about AI and technology, the real story, not just the hype. I'm Dr. Su. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.